This moment in time is sacred with the almost visible presence of the one who has gone on before today. And we come today to honor the memory of one who at one time had offered his life in the service of our country, who is now enrolled in that great spirit army. His footfalls cause no sound, but in our memories their souls go marching on. And proudly we remember their service. Because of them our lives are free. Because of them our nation lives. Because of them our world is blessed. May the ceremonies today deepen for the reverence departed, for they always stay in our memory. Honor guard, carry out your duties. Sir, please accept this American flag on behalf of a grateful nation for your loved ones' honorable and faithful service to the country. May God bless you and your family, sir. Sir, these grateful cartridges were fired by our local veterans in honor of your loved one's service. Thank you.
That's pretty hard to follow right there. We're here. My name's Jack Kendall. I'm here to celebrate the life of James Albert Vandyke. At this time, I'd like to go in a word of prayer, please. Dear precious Heavenly Father, we come to you, Lord. Just ask you to touch each and every family member here, friend, cousins, whoever, Lord. Just touch each and every one of them, Lord, and let them know that James is in a better place, Lord. Lord, I just ask you to just watch over and guide and direct each and every family member today, and watch over them throughout many weeks and many months, Lord. Lord, let them know that now is the time that they need each other even more than what they did. If there's any disputes or bickering or fighting, Lord, it's time to let them know it needs to be over. They need to be tight as family. Lord, I just ask you to just watch over it once again and keep them safe as we are here and as we depart from here, Lord. Watch over them and take the wheel and drive them home safe, wherever that may be. In your precious holy name we pray. Amen. We're going to go with the obituary here in a minute. I do things a little bit different probably than other pastors and stuff, but we're here to celebrate. We're not here to, we're just here to celebrate his memories, his laughter, and things that you guys did throughout many years that you know him. It says James A. Vandyke, 75, of East Liverpool, passed away Saturday, November 27, 2021 at East Liverpool City Hospital following a brief illness. Born August 9, 1946 in East Liverpool, he was a son of the late Ira and Lucille Vandyke. James was preceded in death by his loving wife, Brenda McDowell Vandyke, whom he married on January 23, 1973. He was also preceded in death by his son, James A. McDowell and Robert Vandyke. James was a proud veteran of the United States Navy. He was the former co-owner of Valley Roofing, East Liverpool. He was a member of the Potters Club and Orioles Club in East Liverpool. James enjoyed fishing, drinking a beer, and watching football, especially the Dallas Cowboys. He will be deeply missed by his children, James Vandyke and his wife Tanya, Donald McDowell and Doris Smith, and her companion David Moffett. Grandchildren, Melissa Rodney and Danny Duke, Nicholas O'Hanlon, Robert and Hannah Vandyke, Andrea Moore, Gage McDowell, and Sierra Patterson. Several great-grandchildren, sister Margaret Vandyke, nephew Mark, Virgil, Bill, Don, Eddie, special buddy Xavier Vandyke, and by his fur baby Pumpkin. I can't stand up here and say I knew James well. I heard of him. I heard that he was a good guy, wonderful guy. You know, well known. You know, Valley Roofing was well known. Never heard anything bad about him, ever. But I can't stand up here and say, yes, I know him very well, but you guys did. You guys knew him. You guys loved him. He loved you. And that's the main thing. You guys shared your love. You guys shared your joy, happiness. And that's what you need to keep in your heart and your mind each and every day. It's hard to lose a good person. Very hard. I grieve every day for my dad. My dad lived with me for 20-some years. I still hear his voice. I was telling Jim, I still hear his voice. I'm upstairs sleeping, and I hear, he hollers upstairs to wake me up for work. It's like, he's still there hollering for me. I'm going to read a few things here. It says, today we are faced with a great loss, the loss of James Albert Vandyke, a husband, a father, a brother, a grandfather, a great-grandfather, a friend. You look back on your life together and you find it hard to imagine life without James. So many years, things done together, the meals eaten together, time with the family, children. The children was probably the most important gift, was a gift that you, in so many ways, and today the gift is no longer with you. It is so final and so hard to accept. And it is so hard. It is hard to accept. I'm still trying to accept my dad passing. But today, and weeks and months, you need to be with Jimmy. I don't know, Jimmy. I call you Jimmy.
Jimmy, Daddy's Jimmy.
And you know, you guys gotta, and sisters and grandkids, grandchildren. They all got to be together, you know what I mean? Like I said, it's hard. It's hard losing a great person. Today we are confronted with the fact that everything in life dies. We are confronted with the fact that there is death in this world, even if we would rather deny it. Good people die ahead of their times. People we love do die, even though we do not want to think of them possibly dying ahead of time. Today, we are faced with that jarring reality. The realities of this world are very much in our minds today. We live with loss all of our lives. We marry with the promise that death do us part. We work together for years, and one day we are no longer able to continue. Our health begins to fail, and we lose the ability to be active as we were before. We look at the garden, the roofing, anything, cars that we were building, and we know this year is not going to flourish like many other years in the past. We look across the table, and that place in the vacant, we expect to hear James' voice, his laughter, his jokes, his times of growing up, and all your kids and the grandkids' time growing up. You know, I'm sure he's there. You know, you're going to miss that. I'm sure he had a laugh. Everybody has a laugh that you can't ever forget. You know. But we need to hold on to that hope. Today we know loss in a very real sense. What do we have to hold on to? Is that hope. We ask God to come into our lives. We ask God to give us that hope that we can be closer together and know the heartache, but God is there. God is there for you, and you gotta know God to go on with life. It's so hard not with God, but God is there for you. God knew that James was tired. He was tired. Did we want to let him go? Of course we didn't. Nobody don't want to let somebody go. But God knew he was getting tired. This time, I was going to ask anybody at all if they want to come up and say good words about James at this time. The podium's open for that right now. If anybody wants to get up and say a few words, more than welcome. Don't be scared, don't be shy. I mean, this is the time to, I'm not
Oh,
trying to.
believe me, this family's not shy. We just can't.
Well, that's good, that's all right, because that's what I'm here for, we're gonna bring out some memories if we can, and you guys can talk into your seat. This is, I don't want to make, in my mind, in my heart, I don't wanna make the funeral even more mourning. You know, I want more of a laughter, or more of a, we're here to celebrate his life. We're not here to, you know, yeah, sure, you guys want to cry and stuff. It's more of bringing out the memories, what he did at football games. I'm sure he probably yelled and screamed at the football, you know, at the TV. I'm sure.
He changed the channel.
Changed the channel. Yeah, that's what I did too the other day. I changed it. Well, I'm not going to watch this thing. Why do we even buy cable? That's what I said. Why do you even buy cable for? We're going to lose all the time, you know. And I said, just shut it off. I said, it's second quarter. It was craziness. I'm sure. I'm sure you guys had a lot of memories on roofing, roofing jobs. I'm sure there's some dangerous jobs. I'm sure there's some silly jobs. You know, I remember being up on Thompson Avenue on this house. It was slate roof. You got up there, you could see the whole town in East Liverpool. Then I realized, I started shaking. It's like, holy crap! I'm up there pretty high. You know.
No, he wasn't afraid. It didn't matter how high
He
the
fell
pitch
off when
was.
he was
fell off in the 60s.
Wow. You gotta be pretty tough to fall off one day to get back up.
Saved my rear end a couple times off of a roof, buddy.
I saw once. Twice.
This is what I like to see. I like people to talk about James, you know, I mean, what he did, you know, I mean, you know, like he said, I'm sure he sat around with all of his or whoever, your friends, neighbors.
He was literally
He was
the
the
best man
quiet
alive.
one in the bunch of loudness.
Oh, yeah.
Daddy was the quiet one in the bunch of madness.
He kept popping out.
He said something that everybody listened.
Yep, that's why he did.
Because we were all afraid of him. He weighed 22
He never
pounds.
put a hand on one of us either.
Yeah.
He was the sweetest of all of us.
So
Nicer than any one of us, but we damn sure listened if he talked.
Yep. Stand up, take notice.
Sitting at
Be
the
quiet,
table.
Daddy's talking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sitting at the table, losing the game of poker to him was always fun.
No, you can't beat him.
You can't beat
He thought Darren let him win in beer pong because he never played it. And Darren's like, I promise I didn't. That's what he wrote on his shirt. I promise that I did not let you win. I have more respect for you than that. He wrote something like that.
He loved playing that poker, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
Poker. My dad.
Chess, he
playing
loved
poker.
chess too. He loved playing chess. Yahtzee, we used to play chess.
Probably told me how to play chess.
It didn't matter what we wanted to play
He'd
and
play,
beat us.
he didn't care.
And he
Even if he
beat us.
never
And he
played.
didn't care if he was 5. He
Yeah.
still win. Doesn't because you're a kid, it don't matter.
No.
Mm-mm.
He ain't letting you win. You figure it out or lose.
Yeah.
Played games with you too, didn't he?
Some of these games is hard to figure out nowadays. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, should I just let them go ahead and win? You get it over with so I don't look too embarrassed?
Yeah.
You know? It's like,
I think that's what the dad did with Dave a few times on Jeopardy.
He smoked me.
That was always an interesting time there.
Thought I might get him, but no, he smoked me every time.
He knew every
He
answer
would
to
be-
every Jeopardy question ever.
They would be
Yeah,
quiet for
trying his
seconds to
ass
try to
off.
let Dave get it.
Dad would say it and Dave would just, we should go north.
We gotta go to work.
See you later, baby. Get him out here.
Is the world gonna end on today?
I might be able to say, you know, answer a few on Jeopardy, but I wasn't too bad on Family Feud. Yeah, that was pretty
That was the
good.
best one at Jeopardy, man.
Yeah. He knew
Yeah,
all
my
the
dad
answers.
watched it a lot.
Some of my youngest brother used to fight every day of the week. He'd be down in the basement, my little brother would be hauling up. He'd holler the answer and I go down, he said, you tell Dad the answer? No, Doc, I'm not in your jeopardy.
Yes,
We're not
you don't even know the answer,
Every
that's
time
how
they
I am,
come-
I don't even know the
Yes,
answer.
every time they come on, I went outside and cut grass or something. I hated that show.
Get away from it as much as you
Oh, I
can.
hated it.
I
How
used
you
to-
couldn't watch football with him.
I used to accuse him of watching the first one.
Who was it that lived down south that if grandma was cheating and getting the answers and Pappy was, cause someone lived down, it was an hour early
Yeah,
and grandma was getting the answers and Pappy was like, how
How's
do you know
she
these?
not-
And
yeah.
I, like before me, I don't
Right.
remember who it was though.
I can't remember who it was.
But she cheated and Pappy knew
He
it.
loved
Probably
Jeopardy.
Mal.
Probably was my
Or
mom.
I don't remember.
I don't know.
He loved Jeopardy, that was his
Sounds like something my mom
favorite
would do,
show, I think.
Because he was
One of
smarter than everybody else, right?
He was smart.
And that's the thing, you probably played sometimes, you know, let you guys get a couple answers there and there. And
He tried to do that with Dave, but
It's
Dave
everything
wouldn't say
is
it fast
wrong.
enough, so he just
It's
said
not
the
the
answer.
English way though.
He wasn't waiting too long for an answer.
No, he'd give you a couple seconds, but you know, Jeopardy's on a timer anyways, he wasn't trying to get it wrong, just so you could get it right.
Right, he's not waiting.
yeah, sometimes I act like I don't know the answers and then, you know, I don't know a lot of answers really.
Not me, when I know it, I yell it out real loud, cause I don't know any of them.
My little boy back here, I always, not always, but I try to let him win a little bit, you know. I get yelled at, you have to make him win, you know what I mean? But, you know, after a while, it's like, should I let him scream and cry because he didn't win, or did I just let him win?
Let him scream and cry, cause you won.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
You can't let him when Daddy didn't let us win.
Half an hour.
He beat us.
It's a lesson
And
learned.
then say, you gotta learn how to win.
yeah, he knows how to, if he loses, you know what I mean? Even in the swimming team, he did great in swimming, but you always want to look beside him, see if anybody was there. I said, that's when you're losing, you know, momentum, you know what I mean? Just keep on going straight, that's what you guys have to do, just keep on going. And as we leave here today, just keep on the memories, you know what I mean? Keep on the, I mean, yeah, it's gonna be hard for each and every one of us, knowing that he's gone, that you can't talk to him or whatever, but it's the memories, the silly things he did, silly things you did. I'm sure you boys did crazy stuff like us boys, you know. We jumped off the moving truck and we didn't think we were gonna get hurt. Come on, you know. Skateboard, I thought I was good. Tommy Hawk or whatever his name is, Tommy Hawk right on the ground, you know. Busted my elbow up, busted my head up. What happened to you? Nothing, you know. You always tell Mom nothing because she gets all crazy, you know. She starts. But that's what I like. I like doing this. I mean, you're probably other funerals is just straight on, but I like getting memories out. I like people laughing. I like, you know, I like get people
A lot of memories, huh?
Yeah,
bring out the memories, you know, the fun memories.
nobody else remembers, but you probably know that time when Brendan went to that biker bar and you jumped up on the bar and told everyone in there you pulled their house.
Yeah.
Little bitty
And
dad.
he would've, though.
He's like a little bitty 120 pound in a biker bar. Screaming, I'll
care.
kill everyone
Didn't
else,
care.
quit looking at my wife.
Yep.
And they probably weren't even looking at her.
She was probably doing something to him, egging him on.
I'm sure you guys, Mom probably says, wait till your dad gets home. Is
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
my dad would weigh about 120, 115. I can lift him up with one hand, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
And I was scared of him. He didn't never hit me, never hurt me.
right,
you know.
that's our
Yes, I was scared of
It
him.
was
By golly, I
respect.
was. You know, I'd go 230.
Scared of making
You
him
know?
mad.
Oh,
He
bad.
wouldn't do that. Mom just didn't want him to be mad
You
at
don't want him
you.
raising your voice, Pappy would never, you don't want Pappy's
Just-
voice.
The fear is making him mad at you, you don't want him to be mad at you.
It'll hurt your feelings is what it does. When Pappy's mad at you, it hurts your
Yeah,
feelings. 'Cause
that's it.
Pappy
He
yells
don't
at
get
us.
mad, he don't get mad at people. If you made him mad, then you did something bad.
He'd
It
give you
hurts your
that look
feelings.
on
He didn't give me that look, I'm.
Oh, that's baby. She didn't get
Yeah,
no
baby, I'm
baby.
the only girl in the whole job.
She didn't get
If I did something wrong, Jimmy got in trouble.
Jimmy, it was Jimmy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Anybody would like to come up? Anything? You're good right there. That's a lot of good memories, a lot of laughter. That's what I like to see. I love seeing that. Like I said, I do a lot of stuff different than normal services.
Well, it's better this way.
And I couldn't get up there, I'd start crying.
Yeah, I can't
Well, you know what?
get all serious and start talking about it.
I cry at these funerals and stuff too, you know, I mean,
Wait till you read.
yeah, you feel for the family, you know what I mean? If you don't have no feelings for the family, then you shouldn't be. Yeah, I mean, you're supposed to be, they teach you not to cry. You know, you teach you not to cry, teach you not to show feelings, but by golly, I show my feelings.
Right. I would too, I'm sure. I don't know if I could even get through it.
We're telling Stephanie about you.
I told Stephanie, your dad's a crybaby, just so you know, always about everything, your dad's a
I
crybaby.
ain't gonna lie.
The other two boys
That's
don't
the last
cry.
few days.
He's always
That
been
from-
emotional.
Last couple days especially.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
Why'd you look at me like that? Doors call. You alright, brother? Why you have to be that?
Yeah, that's the word.
I'm like, what time are we supposed to be over
Sat there in the
there? He's
dining room.
like,
Yeah.
I sat in the dining room and look over the wall. And just instantly just start bawling my eyes out. There's Hannah. Why you crying, Dad? I don't know.
that wall looked at me.
That wall looked at me wrong. Okay, well, at this time, I want to go ahead and finish this up. Anybody else have anything else? I don't want to cut you off, honestly.
Sound like it.
I-
Sound like you didn't.
Hey, I'll take a drink of my water. You gotta go ahead and
No,
get
I'm
my
kidding.
We're all too big of crybabies to get up there and talk about Pappy.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently I'm the
It's
biggest.
easier to say. Yeah. You, is that a
It's on
shocker?
temper.
Does that surprise you, Julie?
You already
Why you smiling at me, Billy?
Dad never cried. Hardly
Yeah,
ever.
Somebody has to do it,
Duck
because
don't
none of
cry.
the other ones.
Uh,
You
No.
have to
Donnie-
take that
Donnie,
over.
Donnie runs.
Yes,
Yeah.
Donnie's a runner for sure.
If he was
So
there
he's
right
gonna
now.
take over both. He's gonna sit there and cry.
Yeah. Donnie's like, I can't handle nothing, no later. Feel better now?
I have to read over. I'd probably end up losing my spot here because okay, anybody else? Anybody back here, anything? Any memories or anything? Good? Everybody good? All right. Today we miss James and it hurts, but we have hope because Christ has assured victory over death. All who believe we can say goodbye to James today, trusting in one who was raised from the dead, that we too might be raised. We have hope today because our hope does not depend upon this life, but because our hope is based upon Jesus Christ, who cannot and will not fail us. Today we commend James to God. We will miss James, but life will go on, and it's going to be hard to go on without James. But our life will be enriched for having known and loved him and having been loved by him. I'm sure he loved each and every one of them from the bottom of his heart. I mean, you know, I told my kids, I will get hit by a car first. I'll take that bullet for you, whatever, you know, whatever. And well, can we always be there? We can't always be there, but they know in their mind, Dad's got my back. I'm sure your
Oh,
kids know
yeah.
that too, and your kids, you know,
Every one of
Dad,
us.
Mom, got my back, you know.
Every one of us who's always there for all of us.
Every
Except for
person.
that beaver in that little refrigerator.
Yeah, you and Donnie crawling behind his chair and
Yeah.
sneaking him out.
Mine is
Why you looking so mean?
They used to be the tallest.
You're gonna make me cry.
Yeah, you wanna make him cry. But we'll try to make this not too long. I mean, I'm sure you guys wanna be out of here, so. But I just wanna make sure you guys had your chance to say what you need to say and some laughter and I'm glad you guys laughed. I'm glad that you guys talked and brought up memories. So we will join him and all the faithful departed in the glorious company of the saints and the lights, members with him, that great multitude robed in white, crying out, salvation belongs to our God, who is seated on the throne. This is our hope. This is the promise of God fulfilled now in for our presence of James, and the promise that leads us into difficult, uncertain future without James. I believe James' wish for us today would be for us to listen to that hope, live and know that the hope, which is true and lasting, is from Jesus Christ. And from, like I said before, you guys all need to get together and you know, and do more laughing, do more, get together more. This life is so short. I have a little story. It's not, I mean, my brother-in-law, my sister, my wife, my brother-in-law, myself went to Myrtle Beach. We came back in August. Probably like 4 weeks later, he passed away. We had all kinds of plans. We were planning on going to Tennessee, planning on doing a few other things. Boom. You never know when your time's up. We can all walk out of here today and something can happen to us. Or 3 or 4 of us. We can walk right out there and get hit by a car or anything. You know, we really got to call each other and say, hey, man, I love you. You know, forgive me. You know, if some of us might be a little stubborn, you know, you know.
All of us. All of us.
Maybe not a little up for little, you know, a little bit maximum.
Every one of us is our
But I thank you guys for having me over here too.
Not me and Jimmy.
Matthew 5:4 says, "Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted." It says in John 14:2, "In my Father's house are many mansions. If we were not so, I would have told you. I go to prepare a place for you. And if I go and prepare a place for you, I will come again and receive you unto myself, that where I am, there ye may be also." Now I might start crying like a little baby here in a minute, because I have a couple papers I gotta read.
We all will be.
And you gotta bear with me, because I told you, I'm not a... If somebody cries, 99% of the time I cry, even though I don't know what they're crying about. You know what I mean? Most of the time, you know. I'm like Jim there.
You guys
know?
should be best friends.
we must be brothers somehow, Jim. We just a bunch of crybabies.
Yeah, trust me, I'm the crybaby, I admit it.
This is a
Take a
poem.
break.
Was written. It says, "To those I love and those who have loved me, when I am gone, release me. Let me go. I have so many things to see and do. You mustn't tie yourself to me with tears. Be thankful for our many beautiful years. I gave to you my love. You can only guess how much you gave to me in happiness. I thank you for the love you each have shown, but now it's time I traveled alone. So grieve a while for me, grieve if you must. Then let your grief be comforted by trust. It's only for a time that we must part. So bless the memories within your heart. I won't be far away, for life goes on. So if you need me, call and I will come. Though you cannot see or touch me, I'll be near. And if you listen with your heart, you'll hear all my love around you, soft and clear. And then when you must come this way alone, I'll greet you with a smile and say, welcome home. I have one more here. It says, from everyone that lost someone dear, letter from heaven. To my dearest family, some things I'd like to say, but first of all, to let you know that I arrived okay. I'm writing this from heaven. Here I dwell with God. Above here, there's no more tears of sadness. Here is just eternal love. Please do not be unhappy just because I'm out of sight. Remember that I am with you every morning, noon, and night. That day I had to leave you when my life on earth was God picked me up and hugged me, and he said, I welcome you home. It's good to have you back again. You were missed while you were gone. As far as your dearest family, they'll be here later on. There's so much that we have to do to help our mortal man. God gave me a list of things that he wished for me to do, and for most of the list was to watch and care for you. And when you lie in bed at night, the day's chores put to fight, God and I are closest to you in the middle of the night. When you think of my life on earth in all loving years, because you are only human, they are bound to bring you tears. But do not be afraid to cry. It does relieve the pain. Remember, there would be no flowers unless there was some rain. I wish that I could tell you all that God has planned. If I were to tell you, you wouldn't understand. But one thing is certain, though, my life on earth is over. I'm closer to you now than I was ever before. There are many rocky roads ahead of you and many hills to climb, but together we can do it by taking one day at a time. It was also my philosophy, and I like it for you too, that as you give unto the world will give unto you. If you can help somebody who's in sorrow, pain, then you can say to God at night, my day was not in vain. And I am contented that my life was worthwhile, knowing as I pass along the way, I made somebody smile. So if you meet somebody who is sad and feeling low, just lend a hand to pick them up on your way you go. When you're walking down the street and you got me on your mind, I'm walking in your footsteps, only a half a step behind. And when it's time for you to go from that body to be free, remember, you're not going, you're coming here with me. I have a couple things. I don't know who was these from you,
One of them was.
and then this here says James Albert Vandyke. He was the co-owner of the Valley Roofing for 19 years. He was married to his wife Brenda for 47 years.
Yeah.
So that's a long time. They got him. That's a long time. That's probably what, 28 years? Something like that. He had no boundaries when it came to making sure his family had everything they needed. Meeting someone like him was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. He lived for his children, grandchildren, and great-grandchildren, and his wife. There was some beautiful moments created when he was set at the table, having that beer, playing cards, and telling everyone the memories of his life, and raising his own children, moments that won't ever be forgotten. James was a very loved man and will be missed by many. It's hard. It's going to be hard looking at that empty chair. I have several empty chairs. It just seemed like one right after another. And it's hard. You remember their laughter? My sister-in-law, she had this laugh. You know she did something stupid because she started laughing. Because, you know, it's like, okay, what did you do, Sheila? You know what I mean? She catches herself and then she starts laughing. It's like, okay, well, she did something, you know. And I pray that, you know, that you guys find comfort and like I said, you guys, if you guys are not real close, I'm not saying you're not, but if you guys are not, try to get closer to each other. It's so hard. I mean, everybody's life's busy. You have kids, you have grandkids, you have basketball, football, whatever going on. It's kind of hard, but to get with each other. This one here is from Jimmy. It says, Dad, I wish my day I wish my dad did this, or I wish my dad did that. That's what the kids say. They're superheroes, wear capes, jerseys, and helmets. My hero wears none of that. A hero to me is the man he knew I needed him to be. He didn't even try. He was just the strength that surrounded you when you were weak. The shoulder to laugh on, the voice of the reason when you needed it. He worked so hard to get what we needed and taught us how to work just as hard. Nothing compares to the strength he showed, the love he led without judgment, and the strength he showed, the life he led within and without regret. My hero doesn't wear a cape. He is and always will be my dad. You know what? That's something it was almost something that I wrote for my dad, and we never talked. Alice, that is awesome, really. It's something, most of this that Jimmy put in there,
It's all true, 100% true.
it's what I said. It's what I said
Well,
about
I've
my
always
dad.
been, all my life, always been my hero.
Yeah, my dad was my hero.
They taught him that all the time.
That was awesome to me.
My
That's
hero sitting in that chair.
He was always there. Always there for all of
I
us.
can't even count how many times he told
And it
me.
doesn't matter how
That chair over there.
tired he was, I'm sure, how sick he was.
He didn't either, he was always there.
He taught you to be strong. He taught you to be, you know, a lot of people say, I was taught, go to work if you're sick. Not nowadays because of COVID and everything, but I was taught, you know what, you're going to be sick at home or you're going to be sick at work. If you're caught, go to work. You know what I mean? Get that money, you know. I see my dad walk across clear to TS&T. We didn't have a car. He walked there, he worked 10 to 12 hours, walked back home. Big by golly, we didn't have money. We didn't have money when we grew up. But
But you ate.
we made it. He made sure we made it. But when he brought that paycheck home, I thought we were the richest people in East Liverpool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we do.
And I was like, you know, now we can get pizza. But then again, there's 28 slices in the tray. There's 7 of us kids, so that made 9 with mom and dad. Did they ever get pizza? They let us have. They let us have pizza. You know, and I'm sure that's what your dad did. He gave up a lot. Your mom
My
too.
dad did everything possible for all of our family.
Yeah.
I owe him so much money.
Me too. Should never be able to repay him.
He wasn't make it anyway.
No, he wouldn't.
But the thing is, he
I'll
probably.
try to start doing once I sell my house and move away. That's probably what I'll have to do.
Yeah.
But the thing is, you know, he probably saved you guys a lot of money too with his knowledge.
Oh,
You know what I mean? My dad knew. He saved a cinch cord. My mom put, why are you saving that cinch cord or saving a cord from a lamp? By golly, when one of us needed that,
mhm.
you know what I mean? Pipes, you seen down in my basement, all that piping and stuff,
Oh, yeah.
you know? He left all that behind. That's gonna save you money
Yeah,
down the road,
absolutely.
thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
But, we're gonna close here and, we're gonna do the, I'm sure everybody knows, the Lord's Prayer and the 23rd Psalm. We're gonna do the 23rd Psalm first, and then we'll go into the Lord's Prayer, and then we'll do part after that. 23rd Psalm says, Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He maketh me to lie down in the green pastures. He leadeth me beside the still waters. He restoreth my soul. He leadeth me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for thou art with me. Thy rod, thy staff, thy comfort me. Thou preparest a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Thou anointest my head with oil, my cup runneth over. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord forever. The Lord's Prayer, do you guys want to say debts and debtors or trespassers and trespassers? I used to say debts and debtors, so is that all right?
That's fun.
Okay, let's bow our heads. Our Father, who art in heaven. You guys can join this one. Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts, as we forgive our debtors. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. Amen.
Amen.
All right, you guys, thank you so much for having me here. Hopefully I did a great job for you.
You did great.
And Mr. Arner, you'll get that. Thank you. You want to leave it? You want to put it in?